Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, you could have saved your job with a reboot. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You could have saved your job with a reboot. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. HFF Help Desk frequent flyer, one whose self-importance is drastically overestimated. I work as an IT manager for an international corporation, and it never fails that we have a plethora of user issues with our staff and mobile workforce. Our organization has employees who are famous for not opening tickets and just calling out of the blue with the most basic of issues. Today is no exception. My morning started as usual with calls coming in before I or my team even arrive at work. We set to work answering calls and prioritizing the calls, ensuring any production stopping issues or customer-facing issues are taken care of first. Out of the blue, and before my first cup of coffee, our local HFF calls my direct line with an issue where her PDF reader will not open. I look into the ticket system as I do not remember seeing a ticket from her, and sure enough there isn't one. Since I am already working on an issue that affects multiple facilities, I ask her to put in an IT ticket, and I would address it as soon as I can. Well, as you can imagine, the HFF gets irritated and demands I address her issue as it is urgent. Trying to be helpful, I suggest that she give the system a restart and try again, ensuring it is not one of those odd occurrences that happen with certain operating systems. This is the point. The HFF insists that she has already done so, and it is still happening. She then again demands that I drop what I am doing and help her. I politely repeat that I am working on an issue that affects multiple facilities, and she would have to wait her turn. This goes over like a lead balloon, and she disconnects the call after muttering sarcastically about the need of entering a ticket. Please understand that opening a ticket is as simple as sending an email to the IT team's group inbox with a simple one-line statement of the issue. Our ticket system creates and fills in all other fields that are required automatically from the person's email address. This is when I get a call from the HFF's manager demanding to know why I refuse to work on HFF's ticket. Now I am starting to get irritated at HFF, since I had just asked her to do what requires minimal effort to get in the queue for assistance. Instead, she wants to get her manager involved as if it would help her jump the line. Nope, I explained to HFF's manager I am working on an issue that affects multiple facilities, and the HFF would have to wait her turn. HFF's manager understands and says that he will discuss the need for priorities with the HFF. 10 minutes later, I notice a help request from HFF shows up in the ticket system. I quickly route the ticket to myself, ensuring that none of my subordinates have to deal with HFF or her self-important attitude. I finish correcting the multiple facility issue and decide to take care of HFF's ticket. I open our remote connection software to look at HFF's workstation event logs to see if there is any indication of what is causing her PDF software issue. Lo and behold, an update was applied to her software and her system was pending a restart. This is when I notice the uptime counter for the workstation at 3 days and 14 hours. I call HFF and ask her if she is still having the issue, to which she sarcastically replies that she is. Since HFF has been difficult and known to exaggerate in the past, bordering on insubordination, I decide to call HFF's manager and ask him to be a fly on the wall during my conversation with HFF. He agrees and even suggests that HR be present. Within the span of 10 minutes, I had HFF's manager and the VP of HR in my office explaining to me that this is not the first report of unprofessional attitude coming from HFF. To make matters worse, I find out that HFF had just reported me to HR half an hour ago for being unprofessional. Keeping my composure, I started the call with HFF. Immediately she gets irritated and asks if I have a solution for her issue. HFF uses some language that would never be acceptable in a professional workplace. Knowing that HFF has just crossed the line, I request that she refrain from using inappropriate language during the remainder of our call. Needless to say, she not only does not stop using inappropriate language, she actually increases using it. I am asked to mute the phone by HR. I explain to HFF that I need a few minutes to make a change on the back end of her system which draws further toxic comments from her. I mute the phone and HR informs me that they will need a statement from me about the incident. I want to resolve the issue and get HFF off of the phone so I don't have to deal with this anymore. I return to the call and inform HFF that her workstation will need a restart to apply the changes. Well, needless to say, but her PDF issues do not exist after the reboot. And for one final nail in her coffin, she closes the call with a comment of how useless our entire company is when it comes to resolving her issues. Within the hour, HFF's manager, HR, and I, as the third manager in the room required by our termination policy, were sitting in the conference room where HFF's employment was terminated. HFF never said one word after she was informed that the company no longer needed her services, and the details and reasoning for her termination. All I could think of during the exit interview was, this could have all been avoided if HFF would have just rebooted her workstation when I asked her to.